So welcome to Team DataFam Tableau User Group meeting number 20. This tug works a little bit different to other tugs, so we focus more on the presenter rather than the audience. That way we can get presenters from all around the world at all different times, which is why we're meeting at this time today. So if anyone wants to present on this tug, please get in touch. We can meet on a schedule that suits you and me, obviously. And over the coming months, we have a lot of TC25 presentations coming up. There's some presentations from Visit Sydney booked next week, and I'll tell you about the next meeting at the end of this presentation as well. But if you want to present or if you've got any questions, please get in touch. My email is team.datafam@gmail.com. But today we've got Nick and Chris talking about breaking boundaries, exploring community and headless BI. We'll find out what that means, but it all means, I think they're talking about the new, and now I can't remember what it is, but VDS, VSQL Data Service. But I'll throw it over to those guys and they can tell us exactly what they're talking about as well. So over to you.
Thank you, Chris. Let me check if you can see my screen. You can see it now?
Yep, we can see that perfectly.
Perfect. Thank you for coming. Thank you for being here. I saw friendly faces and remember me the time when we was in the TC. Nick was with me and he is the person more happy in San Diego and TC because it was his first time there and first time as a speaker. And I was blessed to be kind of a, I don't know, mentor is not the word, but like a friend that introduced the opportunity to talk in the conference. He was really happy. And me too. Look, I was pretty happy to show this. Then we did this presentation, Breaking Boundaries, Exploring Community. The first part is about the DataDev community. And the second part that say, and Headless BI is about a new API that we have. And I think personally that is going to make a big change inside of what we know of Tableau. Then Nick, can you introduce yourself?
Oh yeah, Chris. Thank you very much for the introduction. I'm so honored to be here sharing the stage with you again. So thank you very much, Chris McClegan. So I'm so honored to be here in this tug and meeting a lot of friends made at TC, like Andy, like Sam. So I am Nick Dutra. I am from Brazil. So here I am a data product manager, and I am 2 times in a row as a DataDev ambassador. So glad to meet you all here.
My name is Cristian Saavedra. It's a funny thing because in Colombia, where I am from, we use normally 2 last names, and many people think that my second name is Saavedra and it's my last name. And I am working in a company that I love. CO Matrix is an amazing partner of Tableau. Here I am working as a lead of the infrastructure and solution. That is called Solution Architect. And a part of that, I am really active with the community. Then as in the community, I am 4 times as a DataDev ambassador from the good times, as I say. Also this year, I get the title of Tableau Visionary. That I am still digesting and understanding what is this be a visionary. A part of that, I am really active in many talks, Comunidades, our biggest Spanish or Latin group, and career path makers as a place to give an opportunity to know how to get a job around analytics and Tableau. DataDev, that is recently changed the name in the past, was handled only by Kyle and Zach as the Coder initiative, and now we renamed it as a DataDev, and more people join it. And also, I am co-founder of a group and challenge that is called DataDev Quest that try to mimic what we have in another sites for made challenges like Makeover Monday, WoW, or other like that. You can connect with me by linking. I am really open to connect. I love to be in camping. If you have this conversation, I will love to talk with you. Then for today, we are going to touch about what is via DataDev. What is the resources that we have in the Tableau developer area, how to join to the community, and what is this Headless BI or BDS. And at the end, we are going to show 2 demos and explain more in details of what we can do with that. Then the first part is which one are the first step to be a DataDev and what it is. Then the DataDev program is basically give us a lot of resources. Then Nick, can you help me with the resources that we have? Can you, Nick, are you there?
Yes, I'm here. So
Sorry.
yeah, great. So the DataDev program, guys, is more than just a set of tools. It's a complete ecosystem that transforms the way you work with Tableau. So it empowers you to innovate, to automate, integrate with other solutions, and take the analytics experience to the next level. The heart is the DataDev community. So it's a curious and a creative group that always pushing Tableau's boundaries, that offers a wide range of resources to support your development. So we have here the developer tools like APIs, like the SDK keys, and a lot of extensions to customize Tableau however you like. There we have the developer sandbox, a safe environment to test ideas and build solutions without affecting the production. So you can test and solve a lot of problems there. Slack and developer advocates, I will share and further this part, but it's like a direct support with expert and a lot of challenge that you can see and go ahead. We have the GitHub, the repositories is open source code and documentations to ready-to-use examples you can adopt. We have the training and pre-release, dedicated learning, research, and early access to features before they're officially launched. We have the Ractoons. It's like the simplest part of it's like the events that we have, the Ractoons. We have to experiment, learn, and collaborate with the community. And whether you are a beginner or experienced developer, DataDev gives you everything you need to explore, to build, and make Tableau work in your way. So it's good to make the tasks that you usually use in Tableau and use all of this environment of DataDev to automate and make your life easier. So the DataDev program, its sum up is there. So it's a ocean here.
It is a big ocean. Which one is the one that you like more, or which one of these resources is the one that you say, hey, this is amazing that we have it in the DataDev community?
So my favorite, Chris, is the part about the Slack and developer, because we have the access, the guys like you, for example, the masters for DataDev. So it's good to collaborate. It's good to know. It's good to send my doubt and how can I say, it's receive the answer about this complex case. And because of that, this like is the way that that we have the community engaged. So, and how about you? What is your favorite?
First, thank you. I am a normal guy. Always that you say that part, of maybe like a no, I know that you say, but thank you for that.
You are
The one
humble.
that the one that I like it that I feel that, hey, we have something that the rest of the community doesn't have, is the developer sandbox. And it's something that we are going to show in the next slides. Okay, then what is first, what identify a developer or data dev? Because we make the difference between the word data dev and developer. Normally, because that happen is that in the resources that is looking for job, they put developer Tableau, and really that is more like a requirement, is the person who makes dashboards or who understand data or who can do analysis. We call it this data dev to make the difference. Data dev is more a person that can extend or can do things that is not possible to do with the product by default. Then Tableau gives us something that is called developer tools. And Nick has this amazing idea to have it as the belt of the superheroes, because it's what it is. It's basically a lot of tools that allow us to create things that we cannot do by default with the product. Then we can do automatizations. We can connect with sources that basically doesn't have the connectors. We can extend the dashboards, and in two ways. We can extend the dashboard as put something inside of the dashboard that is a web page, that is called Biz extensions, or we can put Tableau inside of a web page and connect with the web page with a seamless that the person that is using the field that is only a Tableau is put it there, and that is using embedded APIs. Also, we can do data science integrations with TabPy and other resources. Then here you have really a lot of product that is coming and is growing and growing and growing. Then the part that I want to show you is about how to get the Tableau Cloud developer site or the sandbox, and what it is, how you get it, or what exactly is this. Then the first thing that you need to go to the tableau.com developer or developer.tableau.com. Then here you will get all the areas that we mentioned before. Like you can connect, yes, stand. All of here is the APIs. But there is a piece that is here that say, hey, get a free sandbox. Then when you click here, you will get this page. And from here, you get a site. If you have troubles, I made this publication in my own blog post, the blog that I have, that explains step by step what you need to do to get this sandbox. But what is this sandbox? Basically, it's a full online cloud environment that normally is updated with the last version of the APIs, and you have access to basically everything as an admin, with a few users to make testing in a cloud, and it's a license that is free. You don't need to pay. The trade-off is that you cannot use it for commercial activities, and should be only for basically learn. And that and more of these things you can get it in the privacy statement. Then I am using one of them in what I'm going to show you in the demo at the end. Sorry, let me come back where we was. The community is growing. It's a really big community, and we are really happy because this community is like a family. The thing is changing right now with the way how the ambassadors will be nominated and changed, but we was the last group to join to the community, and because of that we are the youngest and the smallest, and being the smallest also give us the connection between the people. Then we are really friends. I mean, I have friends that have by many years that I never saw the face, and that we make it by Slack. What else can you tell us, Nick, about the community?
Yes, Chris. Today we see the increasing about this community because thanks to initiatives about how, as example, DataDev Quest, as we will present further, and all of these things that we see increase it, the spotlight about our community, gain it about events like Tableau conference, whether the number of DataDev sessions has increased. Uh, it's much based about the AI, about automation, about this kind of utilities to use the DataDev documentations, the tools to increase this awesome community. So as coach, that this community give us like the confidence to learn new languages, explore technicals frontiers, and bring crazy ideas to life together. So here in this community, we have a lot of friends, as Chris mentioned. So we are like affordable to test new ideas, to share the ideas. The DataDev Quest, as example, it's born in the idea in these meetings, and it's a lot of great things born in this Slack, in this communication, in this friendship. So for me, it's a good pleasure to be there.
And something that I want to recap is that we had uh, our DataDev day a few days ago, like a couple of weeks ago, and one of the speaker was Jessica. She is an ambassador, but Jessica is not a technical person. Jessica basically her background is more in math. Her background is more in analytics, and then from there begin to use the tools that is in the Tableau the developer area, and found that now she can do a lot better what she already know. Then the message here is that you don't need to be an engineer. You don't need to be a technical person. And right now, it's more easy that that I mean, in the past we have to read books, fully books to understand something. Right now, we can ask to ChatGPT, what mean this? How can I begin? What I need to install? And it's really easy to find a video to begin. Then don't be scared about, hey, this data dev is other people, is different to me, I cannot do it. It's the opposite. If you have a time to see what can have here, basically maybe you have a surprise that you can use it by yourself, and maybe you can create some tools for you that help the community, for example. Then you can join to us. The best place to join to us is by our Slack channel. We are really hyper connected by the DataDev Slack workspace, and this one is the link.
Yeah.
Hey Nick, do you want to talk about your experience as a person who create a new challenge and all of this in the DataDev Quest?
Oh, Chris, great. So it's good because when this incredible cohort created the DataDev Quest, because of that, it's like, think the DataDev Quest is like the Monday over Monday, the challenge. So you can share some challenge about a DataDev integration or utility. So you can share about that, the beginner, intermediate. So I had the pleasure to bring a challenge from me about using the Hyper API. So I presented the last month and about the challenge. And yesterday I present the solution for the audience. So it's a incredible experience because we saw a lot of solutions about this challenge, but it's better than my solution because the guys is so amazing to sharing some new ideas to bring the pushing the boundaries of the challenge. And another, okay, so I have this challenge, but I can do it. So in the future, so I can expand, I can compare the approach. So for me, it's so good to engage this community, to push the boundaries and the limits. And so we have a so incredible community here. And I am not in the seat about a Tableau ambassador or something like, but I am the part of this engagement. So it's good to see and interact with these persons, because these persons empowers me to better work. So I am empowering these people challenge. So it's like a give back, you know. So for me, it's good, for it's a incredible experience to be part about this experience about DataDev Quest, and engaged and invited by Chris and Marcelo.
Thank you, Nick, for that. Then, as Nick said, DataDev Quest basically is a monthly challenge that the way how it works is we have two lines. One is a beginner, another one is intermediate, and the basically you don't need to be, as I say, technical to understand it, because the challenge is made it for everybody. We try to do it step by step, and you follow, and then you can get it by yourself. And at the end, try to increase the step by step, and say what happened if you try to do this, how you can do it, and make a question about that. And that is the challenge. And we have two levels, only two. Hey, if after you feel that you did the beginner, you want to have more like a pressure the boundaries, and check what else you can do with the same topic, then we created the second one. For the topic that we have today about BDS, I published two challenges, and both you can do it by yourself, and it's going to explain step by step everything. Then if you are interested in the topic at the end, I recommend you to go to this place. And if you don't know anything about Python, this person that is here is William Aid. He was one of our DataDev ambassadors, and he is one of the person who is working directly in Pandas. That is a famous library for analytics and basically everything related with data in Python. And he is the core developer of Pandas, meaning that basically he's one of the person who do the thing. Then he knows really well how internally all of this thing works, and create this book that is easy to digest. I have it, I physically have it, and I wrote, and it's really good book to have it. Then let's continue. Then let's talk about what is Headless BI or BSQL data service. That is the second part of the presentation. Hey, Nick,
Yes.
what do you think about this topic?
So I'm super excited about VDS. For me, it's the best feature launched by TC this year. So VDS is not just another API. So it's a game changer, in my opinion. It's enable Headless BI. Headless BI is the way that we see the data without using the dashboard or metrics. So we will share this technical stuff further in the demo, in this architecture drawing designing. So the VTS allow you to decouple Tableau powerful data engine from its traditional UI, so you can build, query, and embed data anywhere. So here we have three pillars about the VDS. The first is extends Tableau. You can build custom front ends, dashboards, or user experience tailored to specific business needs, or go beyond the BI entirely, and by integrating by AI, chatbots, and mobile apps, and as part as a data layer. And you can use it as a data access layer via API, allowing you to work with the same data using Tableau dashboards. And the last part is my favorite, is it's enable AI. So you can bind metadata and data to supercharge your GenAI applications, usually to connect tools like Agentforce, as we see a lot of parts in the TC. You can integrate it with LinkedIn, as Chris presented us in Tableau conference as well, to create powerful dynamic data-driven agents and copilots using the same data from Tableau. So, for example, you can use the voice assistant that reads the same data from Tableau. You can enable CRMs application using AI. So it's a lot of applications. So extend your creative. This is the limit. Is it or rather better, is not the limit for a creative using the VGS. So Chris will present some particular demo using that, but here is the sky is beyond. So
Thank you
and
for that.
so we are talking about a lot of tech stuffs here. So, but we have a lot of Tableau persons here from Australia, New Zealand. So, can you share for us the architecture of VGS? Because it's so easy to make the reference about Tableau and the VGS applications. So, can you explain, Chris, about these parts of the VGS? Why is
Yeah,
important?
yeah, sure. The first part that I want to come back is, hey, we know Tableau as a difference between a standard BI tool because always we call Tableau as a visualization tool. Then I make this question. I think that I did for team in a interview or a meeting that I have with him that say, hey, what happened if you remove the visualization? Is it still Tableau what it is? Is it still powerful? Is not powerful only the visualization? And make change the mind, because basically Tableau is also powerful in the data part. Why? Because it's the last mile between the end user that take decisions and the real data that is in a data lake, data warehouse, or in any enterprise application. Then the normal architecture is that you have sources as a different databases, data lake, data warehouse, and then you publish to a data source this data and make some groups, do hierarchies, changes, calculations, etc. And the dashboard are connected to the data sources. Then that is the normal way how it was working before. But if we connect directly to the data sources using the API BSQL, we can extend and make other presentations of the same data in other tools and also create more tools. For example, flows that activate the data with a decision or make intelligence with general AI or things like that. And a part of that, you can create new apps that can works in a mobile or on a web or in a prompt. We want to also take the people that was working in this project. As I say, is one of the projects that is changing Tableau internally really heavy, but in the list is not so popular. One of the person that was there many years ago about this topic is Thomas Nahan. He basically is a mastermind of the design of everything, how it's working now, and is his baby. And Joseph is the current PM around the BDS, and also is his baby now. Then it's a baby that comes from the both working in this project and is trying to do it better and better. If you want to know more about this, Joseph is the person. And from the community, Stephen Price basically used BDS in many projects. One of them that for me is legendary is Tableau Line Change. And Kyle, that is also a visionary and ambassador, Tableau DataDev ambassador, he created a tool that is there in the links that make easy to create the JSON files that you need to use in that, because he created a web-based version that you can filter and do stuff and then get the same JSON file. Then let's do the demo. In my case, the demo that I'm going to present is a demo that uses Tableau, BDS, and a technology that is called WebGL that basically is used for make 3D environments using the browser. And the topic in the conference was around superheroes. I personally like Marvel. I like many brands of superheroes, but I one of them that take my attention is Marvel. And with Marvel, the first question that I say is, hey, where I can get some ideas about the Marvel? And I say the first place that I need to go is Tableau Public. Then I search here Marvel, and I begin to see the different dashboard that people publish about the Marvel comic characters. And this one took my attention, especially this one. And I is made by Sefana. Sefana is a person that is in the community, recognized it. Is a person that make amazing stuff. And the part that I took my attention is because this one is a complex dashboard. What it's doing is basically showing all the characters as a point, and the lines is the relation between the characters using the movies. Then who is connected with who by the movies is complex to show. And I want to do something else to show this relationship and basically show what you can do with BDS. Then the first that I did is take my own sandbox. As I say, you can get it by yourself. Then in my sandbox, I took the workbook that he has, and the first is that I basically publish as a data source. And then you have the data source here. If you saw the lineage, you can get two columns that for me are the connections, which one is connected with him, with who, sorry. And I created this example to give you, hey, what is the number that I get? And I create this web page. Then this web page that do is basically bring all the data that is published into the workbook using the connection, the BDS, and bring basically in a full connection with Tableau is visualizing in a different way and extended what you can do with Tableau. Then this one is pretty cool because, for example, if I want to, here is a mess, and have my son say, because he likes Spider-Man, he say, hey, this looks like a spider web. And then from there, I say, what else I can do to improve this? And then if you notice, if I move in this way, all of the places can move with me. Then it's easier to analyze, to see what is who is connected with who. But apart of that, I can apply filters. Like I say, hey, I want to know who is with the Spider-Man. And then if I press filter with the Spider-Man, then I have all the people that is related with the Spider-Man. And then it's a different way how to visualize data and understand complex scenarios. The next part that Nick mentioned is about AI. And with this part of the AI, in this case, I created this that as a joke, call it Harvey's. And with Harvey's, I basically used a library that is called Tableau Line Change and connected with BDS to do questions about the data and also other stuff. For example, one of them is, give me a second. I want that these two interconnect and show, hey, what is Goose? That is the cat of Marvel. And basically, with this question, give me the connection between the cat and all the people that is connected. And if I want to only select that, I can easily filter with that and see more in detail, oh, this one are the characters that are connected with them. Or more complex questions, sorry about that. Like, hey, now show me a Spider-Man. And a Spider-Man, if you notice, a Spider-Man, the name of in the database is Peter Parker slash Spider dash man. And that I am asking is Spider Spaceman. And this is a big issue with matching data in analytics. Normally, we stuck because the data that is in one data sources is different to the data that is in another, and it's not matching. But here with AI, we can solve these issues and then allow us to make better decisions. This is my demo. I have another question for the AI stuff. You can see it in another recorded session. If you want to know more about this, connect with me by LinkedIn, and I can explain more or give you the sessions to you can see the rest of them.
So,
Then let's
Chris,
with you, Nick.
Chris, only to recap you here. So, are you using the same data from Tableau
Yes,
to create some new application, right? Using the same governance, the same rules applied to Tableau.
correct.
Yeah,
Correct. Tableau is the source. It's a source data to me.
great. So we are using the VDS to create this other part. So we're using all the governance, all these things. So it's good, Chris. Congratulations for this demo. So I will take this example. This part of the demo, it's a little bit simpler compared with this awesome demo, but is the foundations about VGS, right? So the first part is VGS. We are catching, gathering the same data, comparing with Tableau, using the same dimension, the same measure, okay? So this first example, we have here using the Superstore database. So we have the row, the category, and the columns. We have the measure about the sum of the profits. So it's a basic graph. It's simple. But when we try to figure out the same about using the VGS, we have the code. So the code, we are using the same structure based in our Tableau APIs, the documentation that we have there. And we are using the first part. We are importing all of the libs that we need to run this code, like pandas, like JSON, like base 64. Here we are inputting our credentials. So the number of the server, the token, the site name, the version of the API. So using the path name, path value. So the parameters that is mandatory to run this kind of code. Here we are authenticating with Tableau REST API, okay, using the personal access token. And the line 5 is the best part here. So we are using the body. The body is a JSON structure. So we are defining the data source using the data source LUID. Is there is an option to in the site, or you can get this code using the TSC or the REST API. Don't worry about that. It's so accessible there. It's so findable. Yes, you can find in this the same uh, following the Chris. So here we are saving this body and creating like a post about this request. And so here we have the field caption, and the field function is the same used in the dashboard. So we have the same exactly structure. So when we run this code, we have this structure. So this structure is based in JSON. So when we convert this JSON to the table, so we have the same data from Tableau. So this is the part of VDS. So I need to implement AI, implement in an app or a site. So when you have this JSON, you can use it to implement further using the link chain, using this application to in a website or app. So we have the example 2. It's a little bit more complex, but don't worry about that. It's the same logic here. So we have the rows, we have the columns, but we have filters. So this first thing, we have a filter about quantitative filter. I think here is, let me see, Chris. I think it's a filter in a sum of sales. It's over than, I don't remember that. So edit filter. Yes, it's the maximum. It's 200, 200,000. So when we compare this structure and Jupyter in a code, so we have the same structure about the authentication, about the parameters, about the server, but this body is a little bit different because we are simulating this dashboard structure, but here in the filters, we have a filter type about quantitative numerical, and we have using the max and imputing the value of this max. So Nick, where is this kind, or how can I create this body? So you have two options. You can translate this body about your documentation, VDS documentation, or you can use the uh, Tableau, yes, that's it. You can use like a translator created by Kyle Massey. So you can use input your information, select your data source, select your fields, and the final output will be the body. So you can make this change using the exactly from the documentation. So you can use this tool from Kyle and create your body. Don't worry about that. So we have this 5 example. This 5 example is presented in my GitHub. I will share with you the located in the end of this meeting. So I will share the last example is more complex than others because here we are using the top end. So we are using the top end filter in the dashboard in Tableau. So here the structure, yes, Chris will show. Yeah, it's the top end, like the same top end in the code. But
Top
when we
five.
see,
I guess that is top 5, huh?
yeah, it's top 5. Great, Chris. It's the top 5. So when we see this data compared with the body, we are following the same structure. And when we run all of this code, we have the same data comparing. So when we see the Kano image class, the 61,000, when we see this converted to code in the data output, we will see the same number, exactly the same number, using this kind of body. So when we see the Kano image, we will see like 61,000. Here is rounded. In Tableau is rounded, but here is the exactly number. So it's the example. It's a foundation example to compare the functionality about VDS. But remember, when you gather this data, you can use this data however you want. So your creativity is the sky. The sky is the limit about it. So, and when we see the comparison, so when we see the name Headless BI is about it because we have the dashboard and metrics because we are showing this data for the end user. But when we use the VDS, we are showing this data for the end user or a system, okay? Using this information as a a body, as a JSON, as a notation. So it's only to compare these two approaches, okay? So I'd like to thank you very much, Chris, again. Chris, to opportunity to share this stage, and Chris for this invitation to saying this work through a quality that I love. So it's good. Thank you very much.
While you're presenting, and I didn't catch before you finished. So are you saying, so I was the only person who posted in the Q&A. I was really curious when you're talking about VDS working with published data sources. Do you mean VDS you have to have a published data source?
Yes.
Okay.
In the moment, it's like that. That conversation we have many times with just Joe, because it is like a hey, but right now there are more data sources in the workbooks, but fundamentally the architecture should be changed in the future, because the people that we are noticing is that basically you want a semantic layer, you want an area where you define, hey, the data is here, and then from there you connect to the data. Then the concept of data sources will be more relevant in the future that we know now, and that is why they basically do it under the data sources only for now. If I know, I didn't hear that is any plan to do it using the workbooks. I hope that answered your question, Chris.
Yeah, and that did. Don't worry, I'm all for published data sources. I think as soon as you start using Tableau Server or Tableau Cloud, everything must be a published data source. That's just my opinion. But it's interesting that things like this are hooking into published data sources. It's just pushing that way more, which is good.
It's good because some friends asked me here, so Nick, why use the VDS when we have like the source of data? For example, we have I will give an example about AWS. So we have the S3 data in a specialized data layer. So why use the VDS? Because the VDS, you can control the access, you have more governance, and we are using the same data from Tableau. So we are seeing the same data from a dashboard. So there in a chatbot or application, a site, mobile. So we are using exactly the same data governance and a lot of the management that Tableau provides. So it's a good approach, like we are using a secure data, using good data for the work and guaranteeing the confidence about the information.
And the last mile of data, that
Yeah,
is really key, because remember that you can get the data from flat files to databases to data lakes to different silos, and maybe you have this situation. I mentioned this before, and that comes from a experience that I have with the telecom. Basically, if you are a territory manager and you have stores or antennas around you, and then you say, hey, physically this antenna or store is located in one region because it is there, but it's not part of my region because financially is decided that is another person related there that is handling, then the people who made the dashboards already know that, and basically create another group that split it and put it in the correct position because it's for taking decisions, versus the data that you can get in the databases that is more related with the data that should be having, right? But not for the take decisions. Then I made this question many times. If you have an app and this app, I don't know, delivers something or shows something for the people, which one is the access that you want to connect? And I prefer to connect to the last mile.
Yeah, definitely. And that sort of brings in data governance and quite a few other things as well. That's good. Any other questions from anyone? Just feel free to unmute and ask or type in the chat. We'll move on. We've got some time later on to talk about things. So again, if you missed Nick and Chris's contact details, they're all there. LinkedIn, public, X, as I said, on Slack in the DataDev workspace as well. There's a lot of people in there. And the next section is Fast 5. So again, 5 easy questions, easy answers. There's no right or wrong answer. It's just whatever is your personal preference on these. I don't know how you guys want to do it. Do you want to take it in turn and answer both of them? Or just first in or whatever?
Maybe shoot the question and we decide.
That's tricky, but I'll do it anyway. That's fine. Okay, so first question. What's the one thing people get wrong or misunderstand all the time in Tableau that you have a simple fix for? That was Fee from DubDub supplied that question for me.
I want to take it, Nick. What do you think? Do you want to take it or me?
For me, it's the... So I will share some a little experience here, because a lot of friends that works with Power BI says Tableau is difficult to learn. Tableau is difficult to start the journey. So I think it's wrong about that, because Tableau has a lot of community, a lot of learn documentation. So for me, it's like a misunderstand about the Tableau is difficult to start their journey. So we have more flexibility to create some parts, some elements. So in my opinion, it's not hard. It's totally against of this thinking. So it's easy to start, because it's hard to start the journey about another tool, So for me, it's like a big misunderstanding about Tableau. It's hard to start the journey.
I have a different view, Chris, about that. I mean, sharing the same with Nick, but specific with some topic. I use Tableau from an older version. I think that I begin with 9.0.4 or something like that before Hyper. And I read which one was before. And the people forgot that Tableau in the original versions, I mean, the old version doesn't have dashboards. And the topic around is that the misunderstanding is that Tableau is a tool for make dashboards, and it's not. Tableau is more bigger than that. Tableau is an analytical tool. It's more to basically deep dive in the data and take decisions. How to simple fix this? I think that with more training, with more marketeer that show that, okay, it's visualization tool, is this tool, including with what I showed you before, is VDS, is not anymore only visualization part. It's more bigger than that.
Yeah, definitely. Okay, question number 2. Which Tableau feature surprised you the most when you first encountered it?
My case, I think that the maps touch me a lot. When I play with the maps and check what you can do, filtering areas, and give you basically other areas that are related, and with that you can put colors and then know where something is there. The maps give me a lot of wow. I never saw that is possible to take decisions easy, only basically excluding or adding data using a map. Because I try to do it, like the tables trying to get the thing. But if you do in the opposite way from the map, you can surprise what you can get.
Definitely.
So for me, it's the prediction. So when we have in an analytics layer, when you drag the dimension measure, you can have the prediction for the month. So for me, it get my heart when I saw that. It's one of my favorite features in Tableau.
It is.
That's
I agree with Nick.
Awesome.
It says this prediction is years ago. Like I don't remember, like a 10, 20 years. It's
Yes.
really old, and it's still really on the time right now. It's still very accurate.
Yeah, it still works. Awesome. Question 3. Do you remember the first chart type you successfully created in Tableau?
Remember.
You can pass if you want. Maybe it was too long ago.
Yeah, I remember. It's a bubble chart. I felt in love with the bubble chart in the first moment, but I remember I created a analysis for the best guitarist from the world using the Rolling Stone database, and it was my first dashboard. So I remember I used the bubble chart. How about you, Chris?
I remember to not the first one, but the one that make like a wow to me and made me love the product is when I begin to use tree maps and begin to use tree maps like a filter other tree maps. And that chart was wow for filtering for financial areas. Is hey, it's easy to see the data now.
Yeah, for sure. Question 4. How do you decide when a visualization is versus when to keep refining it?
Hard question. Hard question. What about you, Nick? You want to take it first?
Yes, it's hard that question, but I usually try to deploy the dashboard in a stage version to share with some early adopters and make some questions about this, some visualizations there. So this answers your question. It is that this graph, this storytelling. So I think when this kind of dashboard answer all of these questions, I think it's good enough to launch in the production environment. So when it's not so, not answered some questions, so I need to refine and try to figure out the best graphs and the best narratives to reorganize the dashboard. So it's a concept. It's testing and making good questions for the early adopters.
I am with Nick. I am with Nick. To me, a visualization is done when begin to talk by himself, and that is basically when the people who is using enjoy it. Now, to get it there has a lot of iteration, and is maybe something that you can continue working now and then stop it, and 6 months you continue adding stuff. It's difficult to say when to stop, right? That is another question related.
Yep, no, that's fine. And the last one, when teaching Tableau to others, what do you focus on first?
I can take that, Nick, from the beginning. And the good example is about DataDev Quest. Teaching others Tableau, the first focus is more about think, remember when you begin. That basically you don't know anything about Tableau, you was scary about a new product, you don't know about the community, you don't know about the technical words that use it. Then doing that, in our case, for example, and doing this example with Data Quest, we come back to, hey, everybody can do it step by step to get it there. And if you don't understand one single word, you have a link to can continue doing. That is my approach when I am teaching to Tableau and others.
I totally agree with Chris about it, but it's going to a specific case here. when I teach Tableau for some other people, I focus on some foundations parts about the data processing. It's like technical stuff, but it's hard to know. It's good enough to know in the beginning, like for example, they extract and use the live tables. Why you need to you need to clear the data, to clean the data to before to using this visualization. So this foundations concept is good to make the people start the journey well, so without difficulties to processing data, hard to use about the calculated field. So it's good to explain the concept of the data discipline, not only for Tableau and data viz discipline. So I focused at it in the first.
Yep. Awesome. Cool.
Yeah.
Okay.
Love it, answer.
That was it, right? 5 easy questions. So the next TUG meeting is Lisa Trescott talking about six-step roadmap to insightful visitors. So again, this is her TC25 presentation. The same thing, one meeting, all those different times. It just depends on where you are in the world and if you can join or not. But that's in early next week. So again, because Lisa's in the US, not so good if you're in Europe, but pretty good if you're in the US or in APAC in different places. And all the recordings from every online TUG and this one are on YouTube. Just give this a few days for this one to be up. Also, there's a Spotify and an Apple podcast as well if you want to listen to the audio rather than the video. It depends on where you are and what you've got time for. And as I said, if anyone wants to present or if they've got any questions, please email me at team.datafam@gmail.com. So again, thanks guys for the presentation. It was awesome. I learned a lot. I think everyone else did as well. And again, thank you for your time. And if anyone wants to talk, now's the time to chat.
Thank you for your invitation. I enjoy it.
And go, Sam. I was going to say you're in the boat again.
I know, I'm in the boat. Something wrong with my camera this morning. I have to do a restart. But thank you guys. That was so awesome. I really appreciated that. That was so cool. And I really love the way that you just create a path for others to follow in your journey, like to make it easy for people to be data dev, because it can seem really so difficult and advanced, and you kind of think, as you said, oh no, I'm not an engineer, I'm just a viz person, so I leave it to the those guys. But I love the way that everybody's enabling it, and also people like Paula or Jess, really inspiring the females as well, say, hey, you can do it as well. It's really a wonderful space and very inclusive and welcoming. So thank you guys so much for that.
Thank you, Samantha. And it's true, fully true. Everyone can do it. It's more the scary to do it, but everybody can do it.
It's sort of good during these presentations because I'm writing down all these ideas, and I sort of never get to the list of ideas because I've written down 4 things while we've been talking. It's like, I want to do that. I want to do that. But I hadn't seen the Kyle thing before. So we had Kyle on a few weeks ago talking about VizQL as well, the Netflix thing that they did for TC. But he didn't mention that Heroku app that you showed. So there's always good tips like that.
Nice. Yes, he did amazing work. I remember a lot of work inside. The server, the cloud server was full because what he did.
Oh, really?
Yes, it's funny because in the BDS, BDS is a team, and then basically they was asking who are these guys that is basically consuming all the bandwidth, and it's basically Kyle, Will, and me.
That's awesome. I think back to your point as well, Cristian, around, sort of you say Tableau, people always think Tableau is just about dashboards, but it's so much more, and then, you guys are helping for for people to understand that, hey, it's just a way to get to the data, but to get to the data that's already curated, it's already cleaned, and so again, BDS is just another path, and just showing, you know, the versatility of Tableau as a product. It doesn't have to be a dashboard. It doesn't even have to be Tableau Server Cloud or desktop. You know, I think that's so powerful and sets up Tableau, you know, to be around, I think, a lot longer in the future.
That's good, right? Because you can have all your business logic for your KPIs and everything within Tableau. And so when you use VDS, you're getting the exact answers for those KPIs. You don't have to maintain the logic in the database and in the front end.
Absolutely.
And you can do the cool Tableau stuff in Tableau, and then get some crazy 3GL front end on it, because you can do that as well.
And hey, if you wanted, you could have a Tableau dashboard, put it onto a web page embedded, and then have the crazy stuff next to it too, right?
Yep.
And put them both together even.
Yeah. I have many people that ask me if I can do that in a business extension, like I use it inside of Tableau. And it's possible. It's only that need time and to start working. But yeah, it's possible to do.
Just writing the code to make it happen. That's easy.
I will try. Not soon,
Yeah.
but I will try.
I think the amount of times I've signed up to, say, the DataDev day and stuff, and I just, with everything else, I haven't been able to find time to look at that part of Tableau.
Yes.
It's always everything else. I'm kind of focusing on pure visualization and everything like that. The dev stuff, it's been hard to get time to devote to that.
Is that what you say is really deep. Almost everything that we can do in Tableau, each of these steps is a deep word. For example, I share the talk with Comunidatos with Pablo, and Pablo is a master with colors, and I have conversation with him as a friend, right? Hey, you can talk hours only about colors and how to use it to make decisions, to catch the people. And I do the same with my side, that there is DataDev with Pablo, and hours of, hey, all of these that take your time right now, basically you can automate it and do it easier, right? Then the only thing is that I need to learn more about colors. He needs to learn more about DataDev, but right now it's possible. It's only half the time to do it. It's not like at the past that I need to be professional only in that, right? It's not anymore that disappeared.
And these days it's so easy to learn to code that's not a barrier either. It's time is your barrier, but learning how to code is actually not a barrier. So
yes,
it's just getting the time to do all that. Awesome. Okay. Again, thank you. If there's no more questions, we'll wrap it up there for today. See you all next time. Thanks for your time.
That's amazing.
Awesome. Thanks, team.
Very much.
Good to see you both.
Excellent. Okay.
Bye bye.